one star to the other. "Who was that guy?" said Jack. "And what does this map mean?" "I don't know," said Annie, "but let's see if it works." Jack took a deep breath. "Yeah, because we better hurry back. I think I'm running out of air and it feels hard to breathe." "Yeah, for me too," said Annie. "So go slow. Don't breathe too much," said Jack. And he and Annie took long floating steps towards the moon base. Jack held his breath as if he were underwater. By the time they got to the long white dome, he was ready to burst. Annie pushed the button aside into the huge door and slid it open. They hurried to the airlock and the door closed behind them, and the door to the hallway opened. Jack opened the visor of his helmet, and he took out a long, deep breath and let it out. "Let's get out of these suits," said Annie. "Good idea," said Jack. He was dying to get free his arms and legs. As they moved clumsily in the spacesuits into the storeroom, Jack felt very heavy again. He and Annie unlocked each other's helmets, gloves, boots, and pulled everything off. Then they stepped out of their bulky suits. "Phew," Jack said, and he took off his glasses and he rubbed his eyes. It was great to be free, even if he was no longer felt as light as a feather. "Hurry, Peanut's waiting," said Annie, and she led the way down the steps to the bright landing chamber. "Yeah," she said softly. Jack was relieved to see the treehouse was still there. Soon they would be heading home, and he couldn't wait. Jack and Annie crawled through the treehouse window. "We're back, Peanut," said Annie. Squeak! Peanut ran to the letter M. "We missed you," said Annie, and she patted the mouse's head. "We met a moon man." "Sorry, Peanut, but we have to move you," said Jack. "We have to put the map on the M." Annie gently lifted the mouse off the M. Jack tore the star map out of his notebook, and he placed it on the M, next to the mammoth bone and the mango and the moonstone. He sighed. Then he sat back on his heels. "Hand me the Pennsylvania book," he said. And then he needed the Pennsylvania book to get back home. There was silence. Jack turned and looked at Annie. "It's not working, Jack," she said. "The book's not here." "What? Was the map the wrong thing?" They looked around the treehouse. It definitely was not there. "Oh no!" That's not good. Jack's heart sank. He picked up the star map and he stared at it. Squeak! Squeak! Peanut jumped out of Annie's arms and scurried back to the letter of the M. "I've got an idea," said Jack, and he reached into his pack and he took out his pencil. "What are you doing?" said Annie. "You know how to draw a constellation?" said Jack. "You connect all the stars." "What happens if we try that?" He drew a line from one star to the next, and he kept drawing and drawing and drawing until all the stars were connected. "Let me see," said Annie. Jack held the paper out so they both can study it. "It looks like a mouse," said Annie. "Yeah," said Jack. "Is there such a thing as a mouse constellation?" said Annie. "I don't think so," said Jack. Squeak! Annie and Jack looked at Peanut. She was standing on the M. "Oh, wow," said Jack. Annie whispered, "I think I know what the fourth thing is." Jack grinned. "Me too," he said. "It's a mouse," they said together. Squeak, squeak. "Maybe the spell is moonstone, mango, mammoth bone, mouse," said Annie. Jack touched the M thing in turn as he whispered, "Moonstone, mango, mammoth bone, mouse." "Let's say it over and over and see what happens," said Annie. Together they chanted, "Moonstone, mango, mammoth bone, mouse. Moonstone, mango, mammoth bone, mouse." Suddenly, a bright light filled the treehouse. The light got brighter and brighter and brighter. The brightness was blinding and whirling. The air spun with its brightness, and then everything was clear. Peanut, the mouse, was gone. And Morgan Le Fay stood before Jack and Annie.